Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Chris Macetta with Ridgefield Chiropractic and Wellness Center. I want to welcome you to another edition of Ridgefield Chiro Live. Anyway, I want to start off, just by saying I've got the best patients, and my patients are awesome for many, many different reasons. But one of the reasons is because they bring me gifts and they bring me things. And I have one patient, Eileen, if you happen to be watching this and seeing this, thank you so much because you always bring me the best gifts at Christmas time. And anyway, this year she brought me this great sign that talks about chiropractic side effects may include, and then a list of different side effects. So I thought it'd be great to talk about this sign and go through the different side effects, and maybe not necessarily go through every one of them on this video, but I definitely want to talk about one of them in particular. So anyway, so according to the sign, what are some of the side effects what side effects may include by getting chiropractic care? So here we go. The first one here: restful sleep, fewer headaches, improved posture, less stress, strong immune function, increased mobility, and back and neck pain relief. So what I love most about this sign is at the bottom is where they have back and neck pain relief. And that may surprise you a little bit, but the thing is, chiropractic is so much more than just about pain. And I think that a misconception is that we're just good for neck or back pain. But what makes chiropractic and what makes chiropractic so special is that there's so many other benefits. So this sign really focuses on a lot of the other benefits aside from just back and neck pain. And one that I really want to talk about today is the one about less stress. Now, if you look at this, they do correlate. So obviously less stress is going to improve restful night's sleep, right? It's also going to improve immune function if you're less stressed. Increased mobility, that's going to be linked to improved posture, because if you're moving better, you're going to have improved posture. Also, increased mobility is going to improve back and neck pain. And neck and back pain is certainly going to probably produce less headaches. So, a lot of these go hand in hand. But the one I want to speak about and talk about today really is the one that says less stress. And the reason I want to focus on this one is because I don't know about you, but I've been noticing people are stressed all over the place, whether you're online at the grocery store or sitting at a stoplight in traffic. Everywhere we go, people seem to be tense. I've been noticing in the office quite a bit as well. So I thought this would be a great one to talk about. So the question is, how does chiropractic help reduce your stress? How does it create less stress in your life? Well, obviously, there's nothing I could do to change the amount of external stress that's in your life, okay? But chiropractic is a great way to improve how efficiently your body, performs, reducing how that stress may affect you. So how is that? That's the question. How am I, through an adjustment, how are we going to reduce the stress in your body, or have your body more efficiently handle the stress? Well, we have to look at the nervous system, okay? Because chiropractic is always about improving neurological function, right? And looking at the stress response, we really have to look at the central nervous system. I don't want to get too deep into the neurology. Sometimes I'll do that, but let's try to keep it as simple as possible. So central nervous system is really your brain and your spinal cord. And there's three divisions of that. You have your sensory nervous system, your motor nervous system, and your autonomic nervous system. What we want to talk about tonight is autonomic nervous system function, because that's what's going to control a lot of these things. So the autonomic nervous system, it's autonomous, which means it works individually. It almost, I don't want to say it has its own brain, but it works. It's not automatic that it's automatically happening. It's autonomous. It's working one way or the other. Okay, and that's really what controls all of our bodily functions. So the autonomics are broken up into two different components. You have your sympathetic nervous system, and you have your parasympathetic nervous system, and that's really important to understand. So let's break those two down. So what is the sympathetic nervous system? The sympathetic nervous system is what controls fight or flight. Okay, so when we were prehistoric people, and a saber-toothed tiger jumped out on us, what happened? We needed to run. Our pupils would dilate, our heart would race, our blood pressure would go up, and all the blood would go to our muscles so we could take off and run. Okay, so the sympathetics is basically the stress response, and it should only really be activated in times of stress. Okay, unfortunately, in today's day and age, it's overly activated because life is so stressful and we're being bombarded by so many different types of stresses. We talked about in other videos, things like emotional stress, chemical nutritional stress, physical stress. We're under a lot more stress, I think, than any other time in history. And maybe I'm being biased, but the amount of the high tech and the fast paced world that we live in, I think it puts a lot more stress on our bodies. And therefore, we're more sympathetic dominant. Why is that a problem? Well, it's kind of like sitting at a stoplight in your car in neutral and having your foot stomping on the gas pedal. So the car can handle that, but it's not good for your car. And eventually your engine's probably going to blow. And that's what happens with sympathetic stress. So we talked about your heart rate goes up. Maybe that's the reason why so many people have high blood pressure. We talked about the blood goes from the visceral organs like your intestines and the organs that keep our body operating and goes out into the muscles, right? Making muscles tense. And now creating digestive issues. We're not having as much blood in our digestive tracts. Our neurological functions not on our GI tract, and it's causing interference or stress in those systems. So being in sympathetic stress all the time is not a good place to be. So now on the other side, we have the parasympathetics. The parasympathetic nervous system controls, the best way to think about it is, we talked about the car analogy. The sympathetic is like sitting at a red light with your foot on the gas in neutral and just, the RPMs are really high. The parasympathetic nervous system is the opposite. That's the car idling. You're sitting there and it's just a perfect idle. All the systems are operating properly. Okay. The car can sit there and do that forever. So the parasympathetics, it's reduced heart rate, blood in the intestines. It's the body is working the way it's supposed to work, and it's a lot healthier, obviously. So how do we affect that? Well, when we do an adjustment, we stimulate the central nervous system. Okay. We stimulate the autonomic nervous system in a way that it tampers down the sympathetics and stimulates the parasympathetic. So you have a better balance. And so many times people tell me they get their best night's sleep after a chiropractic adjustment. And to me, that's a sign of, well, it worked. We're improving the parasympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic stress. So there we go. Restful night's sleep right there. So anyway, I know I rambled a little bit. I didn't talk as smoothly as I would have liked. But anyway, that is the reason why we can reduce the stress in your body, because when you're stressed, those sympathetics are just firing. You're going 110 miles an hour all the time. When you get an adjustment, it's going to stimulate the parasympathetics. It's just going to tamper all that down. The body is going to be able to handle those external stresses a lot better. Now, I do recommend still try to control that stress in your life. Chiropractic can only do so much for that. But it is, you're going to feel a whole lot better and a lot more relaxed, especially if you're getting regular chiropractic care. So anyway, thank you again, Eileen, for this great sign. I think it's really great. I guess got to find a cool place in the office to put it. I do love everything that says on here, but maybe we'll talk a little bit more about how chiropractic improves posture, how it reduces headaches. I think this is an important one, the stronger immune function. So anyway, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for watching these videos. If you know anybody who's really stressed out and would like to receive some chiropractic care to reduce the stress in their lives, or at least have their body handle it a lot better, then have them give a call to our office if they're local. If not, find the local chiropractor for that. So again, thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week.